guys, Martin here. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, so I was just going to do a bit of a crop update one, show you how things are at. But first, I've just found this problem here. I don't know how well you can see it down there at the bottom. That is gushing out water fairly quickly. So quickly, in fact, that the bore is only just keeping up with it. So yeah, we got a temporary trough over there. We'll plumb that one on and yeah, let this one dry out. Find the crack and then we'll oxy it up and go from there. Anyway, we'll hook in, we'll do that, and then we'll go for a crop walk. So we got all that stuff plumbed up. It's now done, fixed-ish for now. We'll yeah, just wait for that trough to dry out, and then we'll seal it up with some mega epoxy and go from there. So now this is the wheat trial, that durum trial that we did earlier with the different treatments. I'm currently standing on the line between the liquid silica treatment and the granuled one. So the granuled one is over there and the liquid one is over there. And while I had thought that the liquid one was doing better earlier on, now appears that the granular one may be. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. We'll see what the lie detector says when the header goes in. Other than that, it's not great. That's yeah, I don't know. Original hopes for this were 2.5 tonne. That wound back to 2. Now it's 1.5 tonne. We've got sort of every droughty condition that you've got going on here. We've got crown rot, we've got drought tip, we've got, you know, it's a bit of a mix. But in saying that, like, we do still have some good size, well filled out heads. So it'll be interesting to see what the end result is. This trial area, it's got a few foliar treatments in it as well. We'll go through, we'll do some hand cuts, and then we'll take whatever comes off the yield map as well. So it's all mapped out, which is lovely. So yeah, that's where we are with that. It'll be interesting to see. I think this crop could still break even. Prices are pretty good. I don't know how we'll go for quality, just based on the amount of urea that went out. Like, we put out a fair chunk, but it's all in the, you know, the top little bit of the soil, and we just haven't had the moisture there to to use it really. So I don't know how we're going to go for quality. We might be a bit tied up for that. What else? Yeah, I guess that's probably it for the wheat. We'll head on over to Linseed and have a bit of a look at it. Pulling apart a couple of those lower grains. What we do have here filling, pretty plump, pretty full on grains, so that should at least be nice. Like, that's a well filled out head. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm not game enough to do any head counts, grain counts. I can't change anything now. I'll just do what I've got to do for the trial and wait for the yield at the end. But in saying that, like, I can't cry too poor. This has had 40 mils on it since sowing. I think it's had about 60 mils since the sorghum came off. And I think it's still only had about 60 mils since we desiccated the sorghum, although there was a fair bit of rain the month before. There was 130 mils or something the month before we desiccated the sorghum. And so it's yeah, it's pulling out of that a fair bit. But it's still, yeah, it's still a pretty tight crop. It's a bit of a miracle we haven't run the sprayer over it and knocked it out for ground cover, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just glad we brought it through to yield. We're out here in the linseed. I've just done a quick shake with the old beet sheet. Haven't found any grubs. We sprayed these with Vantacor probably about 4 weeks ago. So we're sort of getting to the end of its life expectancy. I'd have to check the dates, but it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, we're getting to the end of that life expectancy, but it still seems to be clean. And as you can see, the crop's starting to yellow off. It's going to harden off, it's going to die off. It's not going to be attractive to the grubs for too long. It'll start getting a bit too woody and hard for them to bite into, which is good for me. Other notes, yeah, yield wise, this ain't looking great either. I think this had 60 mils since sowing, maybe a little less, I can't recall. it's yeah, it's not looking positive. But you know, I reckon we should have, you know, 800 kilos, somewhere there. Again, you know, it won't be a bin buster, but we should make money, should at least break even. It'll all just yeah, just go into the silo and be trickled out as needed. Overall, it's been a fairly easy crop. We've had to do 2 grass sprays. We had a bit of a grass problem, so we had to do 2 of them, and a broadleaf in between. You can see we've still got some variegated, a little bit of barrel medic there, or snail medic, kicking about, and so we've still got a few issues there that need to be resolved. Yeah, come up with a better management plan. It is a good crop in that you've got both broadleaf and grass options, but in saying that, it's also not a very competitive crop. It takes forever to get a bit of height about it, a bit of shading, so you do end up with a whole heap of just yeah, opportunities for weeds to get away in and get through. So anyway, we'll yeah, run this back to, I don't know, barley, sorghum, something, just maybe a summer crop sorghum, just try and open it up into a bit of a fallow, and yeah, clean up a lot of those winter weeds that were driving me around the bend. But we did get on top of the grass one, and that was the big one, so that's a win there. Anyway, that's pretty well it for this. Yeah, I wish it was a better yarn, but it's not. It just is what it is at this stage. Anyway, better keep rolling. Go run out a few mung beans for some cows, and yeah, I will catch you next time.